Hey there, my name is Josh. This is Josh is Making Music, and today we're going to take a look at how I might put a song together on the Dirtywave Mate tracker. Now, I've had this for a couple weeks, so I'm still coming to grips with it, but I do really like it a lot. It makes a great first impression. And if you're wondering about the size of the screen being tough to see on video, I've actually got this little USB cord plugged in. There's a web-hosted external display that you can load up, so I am going to put that up here. And now you can see what I'm seeing. So before we start talking about the Mate, first of all, I'm not sponsored by Dirtywave Incorporated. And I also wanted to talk a bit about navigation within this device, because I think that if you just see me doing it, it can be a little bit difficult to intuit. So using the Dirtywave Mate, you kind of go from more general views into more specific views. So here I am in the song view, and if I hold the shift button here and press the right arrow key, I'm going to go into the chain view. And if I do the same thing again, I go into the phrase view. And then I can hold shift and press left. I always think of it as being like in Super Mario Bros. You go right to go forward, left to go back. And then you can also hit shift and go up and down to access other menus. If you look down in the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see it's kind of like a little map that shows which view you're in. And even from here, I can go further into an instrument view and then into what's called a table view. And we'll get into what that is. So now that you know how I'm going to be navigating, I am going to hold shift and go up to the project screen. I'm going to go over to save. And whenever you're going through and you want to actually change parameters, or I guess I would say activate a thing, you hit the edit button. And so in this case, I'm going to save to songs just to make sure I don't lose the work I've done on this. And then I'll go to new and I hit edit and it says new song created. And now it's blank. So of course, making music is an art, not a science. There's no singular right way to do it. But the way that I like to start is I just make a pattern. We'll start with 0, 0. And you'll notice it goes in hexadecimals. So it'll go up to 9, and then it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you're at the next whole number. So we'll start with 0, 0, and we'll go into that. And why don't we just start by making a simple melody? I've got in chain 0, 0, I've got phrase 0, 0, and I now have the note C4 played by instrument 0, 0. And I'm going to go into the instrument screen. Now, if I hit play, I'll go back to the phrase for a moment. If I hit play, you're not going to hear anything because currently there's no instrument. I'm going to turn it to the wave synth. Whoop, you heard a note. So there are default patches that you can load. If I go into load, and then I'll go to, we'll go to synth. And on each of these, if I hit this play button, you can hear how they sound. I prefer to just make my own sounds. Sometimes I'll go into the presets, but not to knock the presets. They sound very cool. It's just how I like to work. So we'll start here. So to start, we're going to send the first envelope to volume. And I hold the edit button, and then I use right to left to change this parameter by 1. And when I hit play, now it kind of pings. And we'll go back into the WaveSynth screen. So I'm a sucker for chiptune sounds, and I really like a 50% pulse. So to begin with, we'll key in a simple little melody. I'm going to hold edit, and I can use these keys to either shift by half a step or up and down to go up and down an octave. And why don't we be in E flat or D sharp. So when you key in the actual notes, you're entering them on these columns. So in this case, I'm going to enter so you can hear I've got a simple little melody going. There are a few things that we could do if we wanted to add a little character to this. First thing, I'm going to make the tempo a little bit faster. All right, I like that. And I'm also going to go on over and add a little reverb, little delay. I like it more already. Let's start playing around with what I think is the strong suit of a tracker, and that's the granular control. So I'm going to go on over into, you see these columns on the right side that say FX1, FX2, FX3. As you might have gleaned, those are where you can put effects, but not just effects like chorus or delay or reverb. In fact, if I hold edit and I hit up, you can see there's a bunch of different options, and they're grouped by either sequencer, mixer / effects, or current instrument commands. The one that we're going to go for is in sequencer commands. PSL is pitch slide. So you can now see in this column I've got PSL, but it doesn't sound any different. We have to dial in how long we want that pitch slide to take. So I'm going to set it to 4 ticks. In the chain screen, you might have noticed that we were working out of this little phrase here. If we wanted to have it repeat, we can have it just in this chain, we have it say, we'll play phrase 00 over and over again. Every time phrase 00 is entered into any chain, it's going to be that one. So if I make a new chain, let's make chain 1, and I enter phrase 00, it's going to be the same. And, oh, very quick. I'm going to erase by hitting the Option and Edit buttons together. Pow. So now in this chain, we've got 3 repeats. I think that it might be fun to have something a little bit different for the last 2. I'm going to set them to be phrases 1 and 2. But if I wanted to use the previous phrase as like a framework, I can hold Shift and I hit Option, and you'll see that it eventually highlights the whole thing. And once the whole thing is highlighted, without holding Shift, I'm going to press Option, and it says Copied Selection. I go to where I want to paste, I hold Shift and Edit, and pow! Now phrase 1 is exactly the same as phrase 00. So as a change up for this one, instead of going from the E flat to the B flat to the F, we'll have it go from an E flat to an F to a B flat. And we'll paste in what we had selected before, and I'm going to make it similar, except I'm going to have it go up to a C instead of the B flat. And it sounds a little bit funny with the delay and the pitch slide when you are jumping through the notes like that. So great, I'm going to hold Shift, we'll go left, left, and we've got a little melodic groove. Next, I'm gonna press on Edit, and we'll make for chain 1, I double tapped Edit, so we jump to the next blank pattern, or sorry, blank phrase. And let's make a new instrument. We need a bass. How about we go into Wave Synth again, since we're doing a chiptune-y kind of thing, and use a triangle. Triangles, great for bass. Like we had done before, I'm going to go up and I'm going to send the envelope to the volume. I'm actually going to have it decay a little more quickly. And now, let's, ooh, I amped it up too high. What I'm thinking with this is we do just a basic 1/8 notes. And now with our 1/8 notes, we've got a nice little triangular bass. You might have noticed in the phrase view that when I hit play, it only plays what's in this phrase. If I hold Shift and play though, it'll play what is in like the entire song. I'm gonna go back. Now, if you wanted to you could, make 4 different phrases for the notes that you want to use for the bass. But if each one is going to be the same and just pitched differently, in the chain, you can go over to this transpose. So we started on an A flat, and I'm going to want it to go up to a B flat, and then up from there to an E flat, and then down to a C. Here's a quick thing, because you might have noticed that there's multiple channels here, 8 to be precise. If you want to have just some empty space in them, and this is something I picked up from watching a Red Means recording video, is that you make a pattern that is FE, this is like the highest amount in hexadecimal that you can, and then you make FE, FE, FE. We're gonna just always work with chains that are 4 phrases long, and then I just put those in here. So now, we've got little empty spaces. Time for drums. And this is where we can see something that I think trackers do really, really well. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start making a drum pattern. I'll make a new instrument, instrument 2. This one we're going to make with the sampler. We'll go to load, sample, and I'm going to go to packs. Let's see, I'm gonna go with, I'll go with future bass pack. And let's go down to drums, one shots, kicks. And if I hold play as I like a mouse down or key down through them, you can hear how they sound. Ooh, I like that one. So you can hear I can re-pitch it. I'll keep it on C. And you might have noticed that the instrument column is like it's something that we can change, and we can change per step. So what that means is I can use this phrase for both kick and snare. The phrase is monophonic, so I can't have them both playing at the same time, but for what I'm planning to do, that won't be an issue. I'll make another sampler instrument, and I'll go to load, and this time we'll load a snare. And like we had done before, and since I'm planning to have it be the same throughout, I'll just do 4 0 4s. And why don't we have some cymbals come in as well? And we'll do cymbals the same way that we did the other drums. I'll go into instrument, I'll make a new sampler with, so there's a closed hat, and I can hold Option and just press to the right to go to instrument 5, even though I haven't officially created that yet in a phrase. And we'll do an open hat. Something that might be worth pointing out here is that you can also name your instruments. I'll name this one because it's the open hat. I'm going to name it HHO, and then I will name our closed hat, wrong button, CHH, hi-hat open and closed hi-hat. I kind of reversed where the adjective goes, but such is music. And why don't we try having it go 4 closed hi-hats and then an open hi-hat, and then it will repeat. And we'll have that play or repeat 4 times. And you know what? Let's add a little more volume. Make them hit a bit more. And if I'm in a phrase and I want to go to the one that is, next to it in the song view, I can also just hold Option and press right or left to go to the phrase that is in that direction. So right now, this is what we've got. Why don't we add a little more presence to it? So first of all, we'll have it so that we have first just the basic pattern in the bass, and then the drums come in, and in here is where we'll have a pad join in. Oops, that's already being used. So you can probably tell what's coming, but we're gonna make a new instrument. And this time, why don't we use the macro synth? And we'll use this saw swarm sound. Now, I'm gonna first add in a low pass filter and bring the cutoff down a bit. And add reverb. I'm gonna set this to being an A flat or G sharp. So I'm gonna have this start on a A flat or G sharp, and we'll have it go 4 times, and we'll transpose it like we did with the bass so that it will be kind of in tune with the chord that we want to play. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make essentially the same pattern, except I'm going to transpose everything up again so that we get the 5th. So, and I think that I would also want to have it up an octave. Now, why don't we have our pad? We'll give it another volume envelope, but let's have this one have a little bit of attack to it. And some hold. There we go. And we'll make sure that we've got that pattern going the same way. So the last thing that I'd like to add is a little bit of a melodic accent. I'm gonna copy these and I'm gonna empty out this channel here. And we're going to make our final new instrument, our 7th instrument. We'll use the wave synth again. So you can see how the shape command, I can go through it to change the shape of that wave. We're going to utilize a table. And what are tables? Why, a table is this. So a table, it kind of looks like the screen where we would enter the notes. And what it's going to do is it's going to let us have like a bank of effects that are going to trigger. So in this case, I'm going to have it do, let's see if we can find what we want is the oscillator shape. And so what we're going to do in this table is enter in the oscillator shape effect. And I'm going to pitch this up a little bit so that we'll be able to hear the effect of it. And I'll add in a volume envelope, and I'm going to make it a little tighter. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have the oscillator shape change. It makes a sound that I like to think of as being kind of garbled, but in like a cool way and not in a, oh, that sounds like a mistake way. Like that. So what's happening when we hit the note is you can see it rushes through that table of effects really, really quickly, and then it, it keeps going. And we'll add some reverb and a little delay. And what we're going to add is just something that will trigger at the end of each repeat of 4 phrases. So hopefully this has helped demystify some of the functions of the Dirtywave Mate. Full disclosure, and this is me just recognizing a shortcoming of my own. I sometimes rush through things, so if there's anything that you feel I didn't adequately explain, please leave a comment and ask, or if there's anything you have a question about and would like to know more, I'm more than happy to answer people's questions. The more I've been using the Mate, the more I've been blown away by just how powerful it is, especially considering its little size. And I've, also just been impressed by the feature set. I love that I can record the screen so easily. It makes it a great teaching tool. But yeah, anyway, this isn't really like a gushing about the Dirtywave Mate video. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll finish up by just, why don't we just listen to the song? And yeah, thanks so much. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you haven't already, leave a comment, let me know. Subscribe if you have not yet. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye.